Hello lovely people, I'm here today to talk about some of the picture books that I have recently read. I think largely these were during the summertime, so some of them might be more towards that sort of theme, but let's get started. So the first four books are from this series that were kind of about saving the planet and deforestation and wildlife and nature and plastic and pollution and all that sort of stuff. And I feel like I read these so that I could put them out and recommend them for the World Earth Day. So we're starting off with Buddy's Rainforest Rescue, which was a gorgeously painted story about deforestation and the impact it has on our planet's animals. It was really emotive yet factual. Not only did you feel a connection to our lovely orangutan Buddy, but you were fueled with a lot of factual information as well. After that, I also picked up another one in the series. This was Marley's Tangled Tale, another gorgeous book in the series which is called The Wild Tribe Heroes. I was reading them out of order. I don't think it particularly follows a continuous story. They're just kind of within that franchise, I guess. But this one was all about educating children on the dangers of balloon releases and plastic in our waters. Again, this one was beautifully told with great details of information speckled throughout the actual story portion of it, and it was summarised really well afterwards. Going on to Nelson's Dangerous Dive, this was another wholesome and educational story about how we can protect our sea life and oceans. I think this author and artist duo are such a perfect combination, and I always love the extra detail of facts that we get at the back of the book once we've finished with the main story. And lastly, which I think was the first book of the Wild Tribe Heroes series, I read Duffy's Lucky Escape, which was brilliant. This was about a little puffin who I think gets tangled in plastic when she goes out to get some food for her family. I think she was sitting on her egg ready for it to hatch, and yeah, she was dehydrated and lost in another unfamiliar sea, and she's trying to make her way back. It was filled with important facts once again, and a happy and hopeful ending while still highlighting the what ifs. What if this wasn't a happy and fruitful story? So I think these stories really pack a punch, but in a very child-friendly way. They're interesting, they're informative, they're emotional, and they're beautifully illustrated as well. So there is that. Next up, I read The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. I'd seen the movie, but I'd never read the story as far as I remember. I might have read it when I was a kid, because I think I remember vaguely the Cat in the Hat and is it the Green Eggs and Ham being read to me or reading it at some point, but not enough for me to remember or keep any meaningful details. But this was brilliant. Quite a sad story at the crux of it, being so truthful yet told through funny rhyming words, but it was a perfect pick from what I assumed I read this for the upcoming Earth Day. You know, the Lorax being the speaker of the trees, you know, being the advocate for all things nature. It was an inspiring and informative read beneath the colourful exterior. I also read The Dictionary Story. This one was a cute little play on words. I enjoyed that they were personified and had lovely illustrations, but it wasn't really anything memorable. Also picked up two of the Kids Book About books, the first one being Positive Mindset. This was a brilliant addition to the series. I loved the visuals of the castle, of the mind being protected, and the illustrations depicting this. And then I also read the one about courage. Again, this was like a super gentle and inspiring piece of non-fiction, which I loved. I read Stitch Head, and I want to say it's The Pirate Eye by Adam Bass, I want to say. This kind of made me think of Mona the Vampire, One Piece, and Tim Burton all combined. I really did enjoy this. It was fun and exciting. It had some sweet characters, and it was like a real true adventure story with some macabre and wacky characters. So for children that might like the darker characters, the monsters, but it is still very heartwarming and full of life. So those are the children's picture books that I have read recently, and some of them I'd recommend. Some of them are more slip into the back of my mind a little bit, but nevertheless, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall catch you in another video soon.